Bullying is when a bully repeatedly harasses or physically harms another person who cannot easily defend him or herself. It involves a power imbalance between the bully and victim or target, because sometimes a bully can be physically stronger or intimidating in some way. Bullying can be physical, such as hitting, or it can be verbal, such as name-calling, or relational, such as destroying a relationship between friends. Today, I'm going to be talking to Holocaust survivors about bullying that they've experienced. So I'm going to talk first about the pyramid of hate so you can see the connection between bullying and genocide. So with the pyramid of hate, you can see that on the bottom it starts with bias, and then it goes the whole way up to the top with genocide. So let's talk a little bit about each level, starting at the bottom with bias. This includes things such as stereotyping, making insensitive remarks, and seeking out like-minded people. So when you do this, then it becomes the norm because the like-minded people are agreeing with you. Individual acts of prejudice is the next level, and this is bullying, name-calling, and dehumanization. And with dehumanization, this is when you think of the other person as being less than you. So then it makes it easier to treat them not as well because you don't even think of them as being the same as you. And the next level is discrimination. And this involves segregation. With segregation, you're actually not even being around certain people. And this can involve segregation where you work, go to school, and where you live. And the next level is bias-motivated violence. And this involves threats or terrorism. And in this level, someone actually can hurt someone else. And then the very top and final level is genocide. And this is the act or intent to deliberately and systematically annihilate an entire people. So you can see how in some cases bullying can lead to violence. So think of school shootings because of bullying, and maybe even fights at school that you've witnessed because of bullying. Not only does bullying have the potential to lead to violence, but it also can cause the victim or target, the bystanders, and even in some cases a bully to feel angry, depressed, or suicidal. So it's important that we all work together to try to stop bullying. Bullies need to be corrected and taught how to be kind and empathetic. Victims or targets need to learn what to do if they are bullied. And bystanders need to understand that they have an important role in sticking up for the victim or target, getting help from adults, and not supporting the bully.
My name is Moshe. That's the original name. I was born in a what they call in shtetl, which is a small town. It's neither a village nor a city. About several thousand population. It was 90% Jewish, and it's on the border with Russia, about 10 miles away. We were on the Polish side. And it's called Belarusia. Belarusia, for some reason, was divided after the First World War, and half of it remained in the Soviet Union, and half was given to Poland. And we were lucky to remain in Poland. Under the Polish government, we had a real democracy. You know, they had freedom of movement, freedom of speech, freedom of organizing, freedom, just all the freedoms. And we were in a particular advantage because we were a minority among a minority. The Belarus were also a minority in Poland. So there was a difference between our situation among the non-Jewish population at central Poland, which was Polish. Southern part down us was Ukrainian. That's a different story. And in the west, there was German provinces. It was a different story. So we were privileged to have a population which had no special allegiance to the Poles, and there was no overt anti-Semitism on a daily basis. There were instances here and there, but that's about it. So my father was a businessman. My mother was a housewife. I had a brother younger than me, and I had twin sisters. I attended a Hebrew day school, private, Hebrew day school, supported by the local people who were not rich people, but the education was primary at any time in Jewish life, particularly in those days. And after graduating from the 7th grade, the private school, I attended 2 years of public school. But by that time it was already 1936, 37, yeah. We had a very nice structured life of self-reliance. We had a rabbi, we had two synagogues, and we had a free loan association. People could borrow money without interest. There was a bank for business, and there were volunteers who would take care of needy people, widows, orphans, or people who would pass by the town, going from place to place for different reasons. Usually they would wind up on like a Friday night. So if you're in the synagogue, you would take a guest home for the Sabbath day. So they didn't depend on the government except pay taxes, those who had businesses, and that's all. In the course of my telling you, there were one distinct instances of bullying before the war. When it comes to the Holocaust, you know that I can't use the word bullying, but bullying would be an act of mercy during the Holocaust. It's a different category of treatment.
It escalated into genocide at that point.
We were treated as an animal had more rights than we have. We were put outside the law. So. Now, during that period, there was one time when we, for business reasons, moved away from my hometown to a neighboring town for 4 years. And in that neighboring town, it so happened that I was visiting a friend after school, and a gentle kid threw a rock and hit me right here. I don't know whether you can still see it, but there is a little dent here. Can you see it? It should be here somewhere. Well, this was the only instance of a physical. Then we moved back to our hometown. Now there was a church next door to our house, and there was a period during Easter holidays and Christmas night when there was after listening to the sermons of the priests, there were many times attacks on Jews. Not in my town, and I don't remember in the neighboring towns, but throughout Poland, those were 2 perilous nights. Now you can categorize it with bullying or what, but we were next door to a church, and nothing ever really happened. But the feeling was there that it might. Making the world more peaceful. That's a nice illusion. You can only make more peaceful your world, the world around you, your family, your neighborhood, your little town. This is what you should be doing. If everyone's going to do it, there's going to be a different world. We can't change the world in the Middle East or in Africa and things. But we should be doing what we can do. What we can do is create a better world for us here. And hopefully it might affect the rest of the world, but changing the world, this is ideas for naive people. I don't belong to them.